this design concept is for. In other words, what car this is going to be in the very near future, because this is obviously Toyota, and I'll give you a hint, it is one of the most popular car models, not just the Toyota built, but in the world.
I think it's the most popular. What you're looking at here, folks, is the upcoming Corolla. So the Corolla has been known for many things over the years. It's been known for reliability, affordability, just a great car to get around the world in. But they have gone absolutely wild with this new Corolla. So let's start with the exterior design, Dad, then we'll take them inside, show them what the interior has to offer, and talk about whether or not this thing is going to make it into production looking like this. Now, the front end, Dad, the way this headlight kind of makes this really sharp point, looks very much like a C8 Corvette and very unlike any Corolla I think we've ever seen.
Yeah, I mean, it's wider, it's lower, it's definitely sportier, and will it make it into production? You know, that is anybody's guess, but it is certainly a wild Corolla, because if Toyota has the cojones to actually build
This one
this,
is super.
I'm all into it, because it's a really cool,
It's
futuristic
very cool.
design. Now, maybe you can kind of pop the camera in there
Yeah.
and kind of show them the interior, because the interior is kind
No,
of what the
the
wildest part.
interior
First and
is
foremost,
something.
you
It's
can see that
giving.
there's two different designs
100
for
over
the seat.
100.
There's the passenger seat, and then there's the
Wow,
driver's
look
seat.
at
A
it.
different headrest, and Toyota says that the driver's seat is meant to hold you in place, whereas the passenger seat is meant for comfort. So that's why they're different. I've never seen a car with two different seats and two different headrests. It's got to be a production nightmare, but I have seen a car that has a yoke, and fortunately this one has a regular old steering wheel.
It does, which is awesome. And you know, what's interesting about this, Dad, is if you look at some of the other concepts that Toyota has revealed today, right, they are so far outlandish and far-fetched that you just know it's never going to happen. But when you look at some of the fit and finish and the fact that it has real door handles and it has real mirrors,
Yeah.
it's kind of clear that they might actually do something very similar to this. So poking your head into the back, you can see completely flat floor inside this vehicle. It's got this bench bucket design, which I really
It's
like,
so
with these little
beautiful.
butt rests that are kind of inset into the base of the seat. Look at those really elegant little seat belt catches. Like if they're developing a concept car with USB-C ports in the back and real
Corollas
seat
go
belts, I think this thing might
wide.
actually
This is
make it into
wild.
Do you
production.
like this material in the door? It's so good looking. It's very
is.
Swedish in some ways. That's very Volvo-esque.
Yeah, and I really like the ambient lighting as well that you kind of see there.
And what do you think, once you pop it in there for a second, what do you think that little toy car is on the center console there? Do you see it?
That's the gear shifter.
That's a gear shifter, wow.
Yeah, for sure.
My favorite part of this by far, though, is the back end treatment. I think it looks really good.
Yeah, I mean, it's super angular. Like, it's kind of funky that we're not seeing any conventional Toyota design in this vehicle at all, right?
Well, it's got this little ducktail right there, which is really cool. And then I love the way that this tail light kind of wraps all the way around. Now, I've seen that in some other cars, but it is very modern and it is very different when you look at it for something that is, you know, the best-selling car with the nameplate of Corolla.
What I really like about it, and this is something that we are starting to see less and less of, is the fact that it has an actual rear window, right? So a lot of the concepts we've seen here at the Japan Mobility Show have had no rear window, kind of like the Polestar 4, but at least this thing has actual back glass in it, which I think is
Now look, we've
key.
got obviously big old, you know, tires
21s.
that fill out the interior of the wheel well. I think this is not going to make production.
You don't think a Corolla will have 21s?
No, I think the concept cars always have big old
20.
tires, but obviously that's something that would be very hard to put into production. Now, let's
That
talk
would be
about the
nice.
powertrain.
Oh, this is cool too. Yeah, let's talk about the powertrain. So this one has a little charge indicator there on the side of the Corolla. You can see it just went from 90, 80, 70. It tells you the charge percentage. So clearly there's an electric version, but that's not the full story.
Oh my
No,
goodness.
Toyota says that you can have your Corolla with any powertrain you like. In
I
other
love
words,
this,
what they're suggesting
man.
is that there'll be an internal combustion engine one, there'll be a hybrid, there might be a plug-in hybrid, and of course there's one that's all electric, like this one that I think they're displaying.
Very
I'm going
cool,
for
yeah.
it.
Here, let me.
Show that little car in the middle there, it's so cool.
There you go. You can see it
It's
there on the
very
center
cool. Look
console. That
at
little illuminated glass thing is a shifter,
I'm telling
which is
you,
pretty
I'm going
unbelievable.
for this.
I got to thank you. It has a passenger display in it as well. You can see that there in front of the passenger, and that's supposed to fold up as well and kind of hide out of the way if you don't want it displayed. Very cool interior.
You know what I like? It's got real controls for the seats. I think
Yeah,
those
it's
will
got
make
real
it,
seat controls.
those will make it into production for sure.
Dad, it's easy to say this is a crazy, outlandish prototype that's never ever going to see the light of day.
You know what, Tommy? It's a crazy outlandish prototype that will never see the light of day.
I disagree.
Okay.
I mean, look, they don't do prototypes with seat controls, door handles, mirrors, USB-C ports, and seatbelts, right? Most of these crazy concepts will never have seatbelts because they're never ever going to be a thing. This car, I'm not sure it's going to look exactly like this, but I really think this might be a good teaser at what the new Corolla might look like.
Now, for a while there, Tommy, at auto shows when we went to, obviously the concept was very much different from the reality. So when they made the real car, they kind of took the magic out of it. They made it much more production ready. You probably wouldn't get two different types of seats for driver and passenger. And then for a while, with like Rivian, remember the Rivian, or with the Stinger, right? The concept car was very much the car that got built.
Yeah.
So the question is, are we going back to, concepts being kind of just a styling exercise, or are we going to be someplace where this is actually going to go into production?
Well, I really hope something similar to this makes it in production because it's just fundamentally cool. I like how low the front end is. I like how wide it looks. I love all the glass, right? So many modern cars have these little greenhouses that are so restricting and so terrible for visibility. But if they could put something like this into production, it'd be awesome. Now, pricing, right, Corolla?
30,000.
Mid-20s, right?
Up to 30,
Up to
maybe.
mid-30s.
Yeah.
Obviously, if it was full electric, I might expect it to be a little bit more expensive than that. But a hybrid version, if you could get this design for $29,000, that'd be a heck of a deal.
I think I figured it out, Tommy. I think this is supposed to have a Lexus badge. I think they put the wrong badge on it.
That's over there.
Oh, it's over there. I think they mistakenly put Toyota Corolla badge, but they meant to put a Lexus badge because this to me looks like a Lexus.
Well, guys, I'd love to hear what you think of this Corolla concept. I think it's absolutely gorgeous. I love a lot of the design cues, and I really, please, Toyota, if you're gonna tease us with this, make it a reality.
Hell yeah. Once again, just like we did with the previous video of the new Land Cruiser FJ, Toyota, 3 words: take my money.
There you go.
Take my money, I'm gonna
For
get
what, Tommy?
this.
More news from the Japan Mobility Show and everything else in between.
We'll see you soon.